Rosann, we've known each other for 3 decades.
Yes, a long time.
And you have been a professional counselor.
As you have been a professional counselor, how many people have we known in Hong Kong?
Yes, quite a lot.
So many different people.
And so many changes.
And that's why we want to think about women now and women then, and how women have changed over these years.
That must be very interesting.
Yes.
And it covered different generations.
Always.
Well, if they're interested in what we are talking about, how are they going to find us?
You're going to find us Tuesday night, 9 o'clock, PsychoAlchemy. We are Women Now and Then.
See you there. Well, in this last section, Rosann, I really want to share with you a lot of complaint I heard from the women, from the housewife in today's family. You know, in Hong Kong, I think Hong Kong women are very lucky. We are blessed because it's so easy. We can get a Filipino maid and an Indonesian maid to help us. So a lot of those household chores can be done by the maid. Cleaning the toilet, all those messy things. And now the maids also, the domestic helper, also help us in raising our children.
Oh, yes.
So first of all, I don't see why Hong Kong women complain, because with that, we can afford to go out to work. But then the problem is, with this person inside their house, actually, because the maid, the domestic helper, is so close with the children, I hear a lot of envy or jealousy story from the woman.
Ama drama.
Ama drama, that's called.
Ama drama.
Right.
And it is very complex.
Yes. How we should treat our domestic helper. You know, my mother used to be a working woman.
Yes.
So when we were young, at that time we also have an ama. But that time they were very cheap.
We better clarify for people who don't know Hong Kong. What does ama mean?
Ama is more like when in the 50s, these women, they are single women. They never get married. They work in the household. They stay with the family, and they are more like it's like a family member.
Yeah,
right.
A household servant.
Right.
But included. There was some care about how this person feels.
Right. And people like my mom, they really treat their ama very well, because in order for her to go out to work, the ama take good care of their children.
Yes.
And my mother respect this ama more like a grandmother than like the domestic helper of today's Hong Kong women. That's why I don't understand. I think the same apply, because Hong Kong women today still need to work, and they let their children, let the domestic helper to take care of the children. But strangely enough, a lot of young Hong Kong women these days are very mean to their maid, right? And they don't know how to,
Well, how would the role models of people who've grown up for generations with household helpers, there's pattern set of how you can be respectful to your helper without telling them off. How you can do that. If you've never had experience with a paid helper in a home, sometimes your language can be crude.
Yeah, I think that explains a lot. Yeah, that explains a lot.
So some of it is cultural heritage.
Yes.
Another thing is, it really depends on the ages of the children and the personalities of the children. Now, very young children, 1.5 to 2, 3, 4 years, they need a lot of care. Those kids fall over, their hands are sticky all over the place. So that who's ever caring for them all day long is definitely the person they count on.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely the person they count on.
They see the domestic helper more than their mother, right?
And if it's a tough question for families, for working women, and not all women have husbands present, but there are working moms who work so that this child can have better schooling, piano lessons, a chance to go ski in Japan, and pay for the household helper.
Yeah.
So moms are working hard outside the home, but they also want to have this close relationship with their kids. Somewhere, somehow, something's got to go.
Yes, yes.
It might mean that mom really can't do the overtime, which is a real bummer in Hong Kong because every office works overtime.
Overtime, yes, yes.
Or mom has to curb her Saturdays and Sundays so that she really is spending time with her kids on Saturday and Sunday, which might be fine. Might be fine, but when then does mom get a day off? If she's working full time, 5 days a week, and if she's with her kids 2 days a week,
no time
mom,
for her.
She needs to rest.
Yes, yes.
She needs some rest. And it's not easy with children, but it's also not easy when there's an older person to care for.
Wow.
So there's a lot of women who've raised their children. Now they're in their 50s and 60s, and they have an older parent or auntie, can't live by themselves. The family doesn't want to put this person into a senior home. And it depends on the senior.
Yeah.
Some seniors can actually help with the cooking. Others need help with moving. So every family in every household setting is different.
It's different, yeah.
But if you want too much, the old thing in counseling, they come to see you. I have this problem, I have this problem, I have this problem, I have this problem. And the one thing the counselor says is, something's got to go.
Something has to go, yeah.
Something has to go.
Yeah, your priority.
What is it you're trying? I want a house, I want a home, I want my kids, I want my grandmother, I want this. Something's got to go.
Yeah.
You can't do everything every year in your life.
I heard a lot of women telling me the same story. She only have a peaceful time when the kids goes to sleep. The father also goes to sleep. The Filipino go back to her little room, and then she can just sit down and just have a cup of water or tea and then rest.
Yes.
And that was like 1 a.m. Right? So you can imagine at 7 she has to get up again, and the routine.
A lot of working women prefer the rest to sleep. Just to hear nothing. I can do my own thoughts. And as soon as they sit for a few minutes, they start writing a list of what they have to do tomorrow. What I say to working mothers, fortunately, is these kids would grow up.
Yes.
Now, if you have school-age kids, they know the kind of rules that mom likes, and what can they do when the helper is around.
Yes, yes.
Mom doesn't allow snacks 1.5 hours before supper. Mom's got a rule. Or, Mom, you're not allowed to eat this food in the afternoon. If you're hungry, you can only eat fruit. I don't want fruit. I want to go have a Big Mac. You're not having a Big Mac because we're going to have dinner together. And there's waiting for at least one parent to have a meal.
Right.
So school-age children. Teenagers, another thing. Teenagers are, what's the matter with you? I don't know. Do you want to talk? I don't know. Sweetheart, I've been working all day.
Yeah.
I really love you. I'm happy to hear what went on at school, but if you tell me you don't want to tell me, then I'm going to go do my work. You always have to work. So teenagers, it's just, what stage in the family process are you? Young children have their issues. School-age kids, you got to go back to school night. As soon as you get home, nope, we're going back because he's in a production. It's a science fair.
Right.
It's some reason you got to leave the house. So come back to this house. This house is full of patterns of activity. Which ones do you look forward to? Which ones can you plan? How much flexibility can there be?
And it's even worse when the house becomes, there's so much tension.
Yes.
Okay, in your case just now, the kids are just not giving you an answer, but still he's somewhere you can see. Just imagine your kids just after dinner just rush back to the room and close the door, and there's no talking. Right? And you know something is wrong, but there's nothing you can do. And okay, if they ask for a special program they want to attend, oh mom, I want to learn the ukulele, right? And then you never hear him practice the ukulele, and you will just like, hey, we spend quite a lot of time in the class, right? Why don't you practice? get out lah. You know, it's none of your business. You know, I play while you are not around. Why don't you play a song? No, I'm not going to do that. I mean, it's like this,
activities
right?
in the home.
The activities at home. I really miss the days when I was in the United States. I went to some of those American family.
Oh, did you?
And they do the laundry together. Right? You yeah, right?
Folding.
And folding, right?
Folding the clothes.
Oh, yeah.
Hanging them up.
Right.
Yes.
And then if it's a family meal, you can see the young children help with the setting up of the table, right? And so if there is a game room, they usually have in the basement, there's some place they can watch the baseball or games together.
Yeah.
You know, to me, this is all like Hollywood movies.
Yes.
In Hong Kong, the family don't have that. They don't, as I said, they don't eat in the dining room. They don't spend time talking to each other. So whenever they are talking, they are actually screaming at each other. Get out come out from the washroom. You are using it for such a long time. We are rushing to the school bus. It's a lot of tension.
Wow.
So maybe I don't know how to conclude this episode. But I was thinking, maybe as adults, we need to have a different mood ourselves when we go back home, right? If we are in this rushing mood, we are actually create a lot of tension. The whole context of this place becomes such a tense environment. But if the parents are willing to relax, sort of put down all our armor when we open our house door and turn this into a home.
Yes.
Right? If you are still struggling, bring all these problems to the place, and then you expect your children are like your colleagues. So report to me, what have you done today? It's like a staff reporting to the manager. You know, I hear a lot of complaint from the children. They said, you know, my father is such an important person in the corporation. When he got back home, he treat us like one of his staff. Right? It's like, what have you done today? How come you didn't do this? What are you waiting for? So how are you going to accomplish this? If you don't finish this, how can you get into a good university? It's a manager. It's not a father, it's not a mother.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I agree that there are issues with families and couples and 3 generations. But one of the phenomenon we're seeing is that increasing numbers of people choose to live alone.
Oh, yes, yes.
Now, we used to think, well, who lives alone? A man alone, okay. A woman alone, we're not so sure about that. But it happens. Old people? Well, yes, old people and young people. In the United States these days, in cities, so however you want to define an urban area, of people over 30 years old, more than half are living alone.
By choice or by
See,
circumstances?
look at the face. You said by choice. Some people delightfully speak of by choice. I'm talking to 2 young women from China or Thailand or Japan, pick a place, where they used to live in a big family.
Okay.
Now she's 32 years old. She has a university education, or she's traveled a bit. She has a chance to be in Hong Kong for a while. She wants her own apartment. She might share it with another woman, but there's 2 separate bedrooms. Because we're talking about a new affluence among young-ish. Now, we're not 20-year-olds. These are 30-year-olds. They have to work for a while.
Right, right.
And they're very, very happy to be living alone. It's alone by choice.
Okay, okay.
Oh, their first, and how long have they been living alone? There's questions about living alone. And there's critique from their Thai parents, their Japanese parents, their Chinese parents. Why are you living alone? It's not safe.
Right.
You should be living with your aunt. I know this relative. She's got enough money. She wants her own. And they're small flats, 400 square feet, 350 square feet.
Yeah.
But she wants to be alone. Near the MTR, it's a little bit more expensive, but she wants to be alone.
Yes.
And when you talk with them, and a lot of these youngish women are absolutely fluent in English. Why would they see me? Because they've worked abroad. They've been in Singapore.
Yes.
They've been in Australia. They've been in Berlin for a while. They come to Hong Kong because it's career development.
Oh, yes.
And now they're coming to see me because there's a question of, do they ever want to get married?
So comfortable living all by herself, right?
But how do you live by yourself? What do you miss? Rosann, I really don't miss anything. It's really kind of nice to do whatever I want to do.
Yes.
I feel, I have a small bedroom. That's my bedroom.
Yeah.
And I like preparing my own food because I've learned to eat salads. In the States, in Australia, in Canada, everybody eats salads. You don't have to have a cooked meal at night. Or I will pick something up from the grocery store, not a restaurant. She's picking up lean meat, or she's picking up a prepared salad.
Yeah.
And she said, I'm quite happy eating on my own.
Yeah.
I usually watch television when I eat. And then I turn the TV off. And I said, and then what? Oh, I like fashion magazines. I like fashion magazines. Fashion magazines.
Yeah.
So what's your pattern? I get up in the morning. I'm a morning person, so I like to make my own breakfast. What do you make for breakfast? Cereal, boiled egg. And I clean it up before I leave because I can't afford a helper. So there's another population seeping into Hong Kong of young women alone. Now, maybe young men alone, and I've heard from the Filipino helpers, they love working for men who live alone.
Live alone, yes.
Because there's nothing to clean up.
Nothing to clean up.
And you don't have to cook very much.
Yeah.
Have beer in the fridge, have cheese in the fridge. Absolutely wonderful.
Ice cream.
Absolutely wonderful. So we think about our families, and we are happy for our families. And we are now at a time in history where we have couples living together, couples and children living together, grandparents taking care of kids, greater families in 3 different apartments, but only one apartment's got the cooking going on.
Yep.
All of that is happening.
Yeah.
And the new flow is people who choose to live alone. We'll talk about more about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And as I'm the one responsible for movie, I was thinking, instead of this happy family thing, I think 3 years back I saw a movie called The August Osage. Is it Osage? Let me see the name. Yeah, Osage County.
Oh.
Osage, O-S-A-G-E.
Osage County.
Okay, it's August, then Osage County.
Oh, what's
it's
that
another
about?
movie by Meryl Streep.
Uh-huh.
And Meryl Streep is a pretty bitter widow. Her husband recently passed away, and she had 3 daughters. And one of them is Julie Robbins, right? All grew up, some married, some divorced, and they all came back for the funeral and to spend some time with the mom, because I think the mom also had diagnosed with cancer. And they have been grown up and they all went away, right? And why I think of that movie, the most famous scene of that movie was obviously the dinner table setting, where after the funeral they all have to go back home, and the Meryl Streep, the mother's sister, and the brother-in-law and the kid also attend the funeral. So there's this huge dining table with so many people, and they talk about family issues. And the uncle is the oldest man in the family, right? So he's supposed to give a speech,
Wow.
And that was the hilarious part, because it's so long, and Meryl Streep it's such a good actress, so she's like rolling her eyes, when are you going to finish? And the reason I think of this movie when we think the house is not a home is like all the girls were brought up in this place.
Yeah.
But there are so many, I would say, conflict and misunderstanding. And with all these years, the kids all grown up and moved separate place. And now the elder sister, Julie Robbins, obviously had a lot of conflict with the mother.
Wow.
And it was so good. Yeah, and you can feel the love together with a lot of misunderstanding. And the daughters always want to get the mother's approval. And actually the mother had been suffering from depression for quite some time, hiding her, is it Valium? you know, her medicine.
All in this house.
All in this house.
In this house. The
Yeah.
house that was a home.
Yes.
House that was a
Yeah,
home.
it's like, well, we need to think, even with a lot of conflict, is this still a home with conflict? All right?
Sure.
Yeah, so what about your book?
My book is Homemaking is a Social
Ooh.
Art.
Yes.
It's the process of making a home.
Okay.
Not whether you should paint the walls blue
Ooh, not
or
that
how much
kind.
furniture you need, but we're talking about a home for the soul. It's not only a home for your body.
Okay.
But where will your mind feel at ease? Where will your spirit feel at ease? And you build that into your homemaking. Small room, small flat, farmhouse, ranch house, a mansion. Still, the feelings involved are, how do people use that space? How do they make it?
Yeah.
How do they make it a home?
Right.
So it's an art. It's a social art. So decorating a house might be a visual art, but making a home is a social art. Relationships.
Yes.
Relation.
Wow.
Even when you live alone, there's how you feel about being alone and the memories you have of when you didn't live alone.
Yeah. I should borrow your book 3 months ago when I'm struggling. This is so
Yeah.
good, right? Creating a home for body, soul, and spirit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rosann, you are good. You almost have a book for every topic.
Well, I think of it. We do think ahead of time which topics, and we've heard from you which
Yeah.
topics. Apparently, men want more about women.
Yes.
Men are writing us that they want to learn more about women, but
Yeah.
we don't know which age group you're
Yeah.
interested
Yeah,
in.
we will think about it.
We will think about
and
that
we will
one.
definitely answer your needs. So
Yeah.
do drop us a note or maybe send us a message.
Yeah.
So what topics you want to talk about? We still have time for
Well,
that.
still, and you like the conversation. You don't want the theories only. You want the conversation. So we do listen to your comments, and we're very appreciative for them. And we keep going.
Yes.
Dorothy, we keep going.
See you next week.
See you next time.